Hello, Grandma DC here, and it's nighttime, and I just got home. It's about midnight. I left this morning to go to the doctor's. You're all wondering, what did the doctor say about Grandma's bad back? And here it is. Nothing much. Some, but here's the story. The chiropractor took an x-ray and he said it looked like I had a mass in my back that was pushing my spine sideways and had it, bent. And it's like, that's what it feels like. That's exactly what it feels like. And so I went to my doctor and I was telling her this, and that he had mentioned he had a sister-in-law who had had MRIs and CAT scans and they didn't find any cancer. And then when they did a bone scan, they found cancer. He felt I needed a bone scan. My doctor's like, no, you don't. Cancer shows up on regular x-rays. And so I was like, okay, I hope so. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. And so then she says, we'll just do a regular x-ray. So they did a regular x-ray, took 2 of everything, and I heard the guy talking in the x-ray room, and he's like, it's really grainy. It's hard to see. You think it's going to be okay? And the other guy was like, yeah, it'll be good enough. Lovely thing to hear while you're laying on a table. And so the doctor said to me, come back in a couple of hours. We should have the x-rays done, and I won't read them. I'm letting an expert read them, just so you know. It's an expert that will read them. And she says, and then I will, we'll discuss this, but she says, I'm pretty sure this is just a, she wrote it down for me. I need things written down at this age. I'm old enough now. It's like, let me write that down for you. Good thing she did. S-C-A-R-O, sacroiliitis. You ever heard of that? Sacroiliitis. She says, you just need a cortisone shot in your hip. You'll be fine. And I'm like, okay, sure. Put a Band-Aid on it. It'll be good. What's causing it? What is this? How can I do anything about it? Is it caused from eating too much diet soda? Probably. My luck, my last bad habit. And so she was like, oh, it's just inflammation. It's inflammation of the hip. And she wanted to give me a cortisone shot, but after the expert read the x-ray. So I came back 2 hours later. Mom and I went shopping at the commissary, which is always a fun trip. And we got there and we came back, and the girl said, okay, go have a seat. We went and had a seat, and then pretty soon she came back and she says, your doctor's left for the day. And she goes, do you want her to call you? And I was like, sure, why not? So we left. Mother had a dog that was sick, so we drove all the way back home, which is an hour-and-a-half drive. And we got back home and picked up her dog, and we're heading to another town to take the dog to the vet, because we don't have a vet in our little town. And I get a call, and it's from the base, and it is my doctor's secretary, a little girl named Evan. Isn't that cute? That's the cutest name, Evan. She's just the sweetest little thing. She was new. I actually really liked her. And she says, the doctor wrote it down. She says that they don't see any sign of cancer, and that it's just the sacroiliitis. And if you want to do anything about it, you could come get a shot. That will fix it. That will pretty much cure it. And that takes care of it forever and ever. Because I said, I know people that get cortisone shots have to get them every so often. And she's like, no, this will just cure it forever. And I said, well, you know what? At this point, it's affecting my life. I can't walk very far without it swelling up and cranking me down. And I can't hardly get around. So, yes, I'll take the shot. When can I come back? Let me see. Now, you have to understand, this is, what, the 5th of... February, March, April? Are we at April 5th now? That's about right, 2019. And she says, we can see you on the 23rd. I'm like, oh, the 23rd. 20 more days or so. Okay. Fine, make the appointment. So do I feel that I have had a thorough diagnosis? Do I feel like this is what it really is? Who knows? But at least we don't have the big C word being thrown at me. And I had to weigh while I was there. My clothes hadn't been getting any tighter. I didn't think I was gaining weight, other than I have been complaining about the way I look in my videos. And yeah, this ain't good, kids. I have gained some weight. Back to keto. Everyone says back to keto. Well, I tell you what. I have tried every diet on the sun, under the sun. On the sun? Yeah, that's because, you know, I have asbestos skin. No. Every diet under the sun. So I can't tell. It's midnight. Give me a break. I've been driving a car all day long and I need sustenance. I found stevia Coca-Cola. Am I a happy camper? You bet. We're going to have to eke that out and make it last. And where was I? I've tried every diet under the sun. And even gastric bypass. So I think I may go back to my chiropractor, who I actually trust more than my doctor. Although my doctor was putting him down and saying the exact opposite of what he was saying about her putting her down. It's like, chiropractors always blah, blah, blah. And he was like, doctors always blah, blah, blah. It was like, my mother was laughing. She says, I almost said that's exactly what he said about you. And she was, you know, kind of disparaging a chiropractor. So, anyway, but I do want to go back to him because he does have some dieting help. He has an interesting theory about timing and eating. And he said, I'll bet you just eat when you're hungry, or you only eat once a day, or snack. And I'm like, you got it. That's pretty much what I do. And he said, eating for women at my age group to lose weight, I have to walk, move, and I have to, that forces my body to burn weight, and I also have to eat at certain times. Now that's an interesting theory. I've never heard of the timed diet where you have to eat at certain times. And I'm curious as to whether he's talking low carb, no carb, or all veggie, or what. So I'm going to make an appointment to go back to see him for the weight thing and talk to him about this sacroiliitis and a shot and everything. Because, yeah, my doctor's misdiagnosed me like 3 times and almost killed me. Makes her mad when I go to somebody else and save my own life. But hey, you know, you're the doctor they assigned to me. You're the doctor I'm kind of stuck with. And I like you a lot. I like you, Dr. T. You're really a sweet girl. But when it comes to diagnostics, not so much. So, but I imagine that it is some sort of, I did get them to use the A word. They did finally admit it's an arthritis. She didn't say what kind, because National Guard, my husband's in the National Guard full time. The Army doesn't want to use the A word because you might get some disability or something, and then heavens knows that would come directly out of all of their pockets. So, apparently. So they don't like to use the A word, but they did use it because she said, well, you know, it's kind of like, you know, arthritis, and you do have some arthritis in your back. And I was like, wonder what kind of arthritis. You know. So anyway, it's no biggie. No biggie. I told you Grandma's not going to die because only the good die young, and I am not part of the good. So we saw the suit done. You should see, well, I don't know if you can tell a difference yet. No, we'll just wait. I've had a woman cleaning my backyard. Oh my gosh, her name's Jennifer. I love her. I'm not filming her doing it because I don't think she really wants to be filmed. But oh my gosh, she has come in like gangbusters. She's cleaning the yard, hauling off all the trash. She's cleaned up the floors in my house. She's fixed my fence so the dogs can't get out and I can let them into the backyard again. She even fixed my back porch. She fixed the door on my hen house. Oh, speaking of chickens, I have bad news. Yeah, there is some bad news on this. The chicken that loved me the most kept hopping the little dog fence and trying to come in the house. And she was kind of my baby. I called her baby. I was just like, come here, baby. And she would fly up and jump into my arms. And I wanted to film that for you guys because it was so cute. Anyway, my uncle came to see the baby bunnies, and I had them out front talking to him and my aunt. And when he and I came back in, Betsy and Scud had baby on the ground, ripping her to shreds. And I ran her to the veterinarian, but they had split her skin all the way from her head to back behind her wing. And since the veterinarian was out for lunch and I had to wait like 30 minutes to see the vet, and then it was another 15 before they came in to look at my chicken, she was starting to expire at that point. I had held her the whole time. She was able to lift her head and she was able to move around for the first 30 minutes, but by the time they got around to seeing me, she was... And when they looked at the damage, and I have to admit, she was way far damaged, more than just like 1,000 stitches could cure, which I was hoping they could stitch her up, maybe she'd make it. But I went ahead and had them euthanize her. I said, if there's anyone that likes to eat chicken, she's nice and plump, you know, if someone wants to behead her, and, you know, but I can't. And they were like, no, she's a pet, we can't either. So I actually had to have her euthanized, and it was a sad day. And did I spank Scudner's behind and Betsy's? You betcha I did, even though it doesn't do any good. It made me feel better. But today, my girl came over to clean, and I wasn't here because I was out with Mima on the doctors, and she let all the chickens out of the pen, and they were running in the yard with the dogs when I came home, and the dogs hadn't killed anymore. So I think it was just that Baby came in the house, and the dogs kind of see that as their territory, and the chickens aren't supposed to come in. So Baby was the type, if you jumped on her, she laid down. She didn't run. So I think that I'm not blaming the victim here, am I? It's not Baby's fault. But now we have nine hens, and I was getting too many eggs anyway, I guess. So everything for a reason. Chickens are food. They don't live very long. I understand that. It just broke my heart because it was Baby. So, on other bad news, my sister's husband's dying. He had a stroke or two, and he's dying, but he's in his 80s. And I feel sorry for her. Hope that he goes quickly, because otherwise he could be a vegetable, and he wasn't the type of man that wanted to be a vegetable. He was a go-getter and a really sweetheart. So I feel bad that she's having to go through this. I've been through it twice. I've been widowed twice, literally. So when I was married to him, when I wasn't married to, but he just felt like my husband, you know. So, okay, guys, I'm going to cut this off right now because I'm just going to do this all in one take. I'm not going to do a lot of, you know, cutting and pasting and like I did on my last video, which I had to re-upload because I forgot to hit publish and it went dead and inactive after so long. We're re-uploading that right now. I'll try to get this one in the morning and re-upload it. But that's all that's happening in the world of Grandma DC right now. And we will start another fursuit when everything settles down, just for fun. And I'm thinking, I don't know, my granddaughter Hazel's going to have to come up with an idea. What do you want, Hayes? How many fursuits is Grandma going to practice on to make for you? We've got the dragon. We've got her kitty that she drew the picture of. We've got the first kitty that she took home with her, Candy Kitty. So, I don't know. Suggestions below. What kind of animals should Grandma do next? I was thinking dog would be pretty easy and common. We've done cats and dragons, so maybe a dog. I don't know. I love you all. Talk to you guys later. Have a great day. Love this weather. It's at least getting to be spring and summer like here. This is a happy time. I love you. Bye-bye.